Attention. Please be advised. The following episode contains spoilers. Don't say we didn't warn you.
The guy next to me was crying at the same scene for a completely different reason than I was crying, and I was like, why are you crying?
He's like, I wanted to like
my
this
house
more.
burned down.
Oh no!
That's why he's crying. I just got the text from my nest.
But what's up, everyone? Welcome to Nerd on the Podcast you didn't need but deserve, where all levels of nerd are welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're a big kaiju or a little one, whether you
Yeah.
walk or you fly.
Yeah.
Today,
That's really nice.
we are joining the fight in the third installment of the Monsterverse by Legendary in the Kaiju event of the year. Today, we are talking about Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Yeah, we are.
Dun 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 dun.
Can I put it down now?
Dun dun.
You may
dun.
put it down now.
Dun,
Josh
dun.
is holding up the poster of Godzilla.
Yeah.
So let's get things started. My name's Tom.
I'm Corey.
I'm Caitlin.
Ali.
And I am Josh, and this episode is brought to you in part by our patrons over at Patreon.
Patreon.
If you are new to Patreon, Patreon is essentially a membership service in which you can support your favorite creators, say, like, I don't know, Nerd On.
Us.
And for as little as $1, $5, you can support your favorite creators and get special stuff in return, like bonus episodes or Discord server or discounts on merch, all sorts of fun stuff.
Quite a few things.
It's pretty dope. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We love getting to talk to our fans, and we love it that you guys support us. But you can check it out, nerdon.io/Patreon.
Join the Nerd On Nation today.
Join it!
Do it.
Join the Nerd On Nation.
if you want to.
You guys are doing really good today, just want to say.
Aw.
Yeah?
Well done.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
So sweet.
All right.
I like your glasses.
Thanks, man. They're new.
I know.
Compliments for everybody.
I can see.
So
I can
Well
actually
done.
see Tom now. It's
I
unfortunate.
know those look
Oh.
nice. Everyone look at his nice shirt and his nice glasses, his nice ring, his nice
what are
beads
we
that
doing,
someone
Tom?
gave to him. If you could see it all on YouTube if you're watching it.
Wow.
But
These are Tom's anal beads from when he was a monk.
yeah.
Wow, I wish I'd never heard that sentence come out of your mouth. Anyway,
They couldn't touch our
Tom,
bodies,
please say
but-
words.
So we're talking about a movie, and at the movie we're gonna rate it 1 out of 5. So that allows us to
Guess that grump.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun,
Ba-da-bum. Ba-da-ba-bum. Ba-da-ba-bum. Ba-da-ba-bum.
I hope we didn't destroy your car speakers with that or your
Sorry.
ears.
I
or
just
whatever
imagine
it
someone's
was.
car
We
is just like,
tried.
all the wheels just fall
If you would
off.
like that as a ringtone, you can reach out to us.
Join Nerd On Nation Day, get exclusive ringtones. So yes, if you're new to the show, as your first time listening, Guess That Grump is a segment of our show where at the end of the episode, since Godzilla King of All Monsters is one of the installments, but is a completed film, we're going to rate it 1 out of 5. And whoever's lowest out of the group will become the Grump of the Week. We encourage everyone at home to play along. Send us what your numbers are of 1 out of 5, unless you're Ollie, you do 0 out of 5 because he put a short film in there. And
Wow.
tell us who you thought would have been the Grump of the Week.
But since you always explain it, why don't you start us
Since
off?
I never explain it. So I think who's going to have the lowest number of the week of this episode is going to be
Search your feelings.
He's like looking
He's
right
really,
at Ollie.
He's really thinking about it.
Like it could be anyone different. It doesn't
Yeah.
affect you.
Pick
someone different
You know
out of
what? I might
spite.
go Corey.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew it.
I'm going to go Corey as well.
Wow, why?
Because I'm a trendsetter.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll go with it. Sure.
Who's next? Who else is guessing Corey?
I'm going to go with Ollie.
There it is.
I'll go Tom.
Ooh.
You are so stupid, sir.
I'm
This is
going to
time
go
for
with
no debate.
Ollie.
Wow.
No debate.
Wait, did we not get anything?
Well, you guys barely
You
get
too?
anything.
No.
No, you
We
should
didn't get anything.
Kaylin always
Yeah,
has
no
like
votes.
a 0.7
Yeah.
higher than everyone else anyways.
So
That's fair.
the
true.
tallies are Corey and Ollie have 2 and Tom has 1.
I want everyone at home to challenge themselves to find an episode where Kaylin voted something less than a 4. So
It's happened.
It did
It has
happen
happened.
once.
It did happen.
Which one? Exactly.
Hot rod?
All right, moving onward.
So now we go to the complete spoiler of that, and we figure out we do our initial reactions, aka our first impressions. If you're across the pond, under the
Yeah.
bridge, or in the center of the hollow earth.
Yes. So I was very excited about this film. I am a big fan of giant monster movies. I like seeing giant monsters fight. It's a nice way to kind of like relax, see some crazy. It's almost the same reason I like John Wick, because I just want to see some crazy shit.
Yeah.
for like 2 hours or whatever it is.
Little ride.
I was a fan of the 2014. I think 2014.
Bryan
yeah.
Cranston dies in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was a little upset about that, to be honest with you. But that is another episode. But I liked what they did with it. I like the new design of Godzilla. It feels like
Gonzilla.
Gonzozilla.
Yeah, Godzilla.
It's the new Muppet. I loved it. Did I watch the right film? But I like the new design of him. I mean, it gives it a nice gravitas to it all.
Him?
Yeah, like his size and his design and everything. Because he changes all the time.
Just to add to that, yeah, he always changes. With the people who are designing this one, they actually model his face off wolves and bears
Oh, interesting.
to give him more of a
Nice.
noble feel.
Yeah, I mean, very similar to the 2014 though, as far as
Yummy.
the build goes and everything.
He's big boy.
And I'll just say the sound design for this film was like off the fucking charts.
Oh, yeah.
That
And the score.
I don't remember being quite as excited in a film before hearing the boom, 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 and I'm like, oh shit, it's happening. So yeah,
It's the reason. I'll quote my big bro in my fraternity. His name's Creston. Shout out. He said when that moment happened in the first movie, when he blasted the Muto,
yeah.
it turned that movie from a B- to a B+.
Yeah, I had some issues with some of the story and character, how they wrote some of the characters and choices they made as far as like arcs go. But anytime monsters were on screen, I was fucking in 100%.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang what?
I will go next. So Godzilla for me holds a very special place in my heart because when I was growing up, Godzilla movies were probably some of the first movies that I ever saw, like the original ones. We had a little tiny video store.
What was your first one?
I don't remember the actual title, but it was wow.
Wow.
Wow. Way to quantify my fandom.
Yeah. that's what I'm doing.
Godzilla 99, was that the first one?
Oh my god. It had
Papopolis?
Matthew Broderick in it
Papopolis?
and like
That actually was the first
And Hank
movie I saw.
Azaria.
Yeah.
And then the cutie who just
Anyway,
didn't do anything after.
Your first impressions.
So this was a movie that whether we did an episode or not, I was going to watch it. And
Yeah.
I loved it. It's Godzilla. And I fucking love Godzilla. And just from start to finish, yeah, I had some issues. There were some issues, yeah. But I was like, ooh. And I was in this theater that I didn't know that going into it, that the sound was so good.
Oh.
It was like so good.
How was
good.
It was so good.
My
it was the
God.
good. That
Thank you, Tom.
true. And where I was in the theater, I didn't think it was going to sound that great. I wasn't in the center. I didn't get to get the whole
was in the first
surround. No, I was in the back to the right a little, but the sound was so awesome. And the way that
Stellar.
they used the surround sound, there was a time that I sat up and I was like, ooh, that came out of that speaker. I like this. And the score,
It's kind of like a new
just,
sex position. You're like, ooh. I didn't know you could do that with your back.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
everybody
Oh.
listening. Tom's on a roll tonight.
Yep.
Anyway, Ollie?
We'll explain when we get there.
I loved the 2014 one as well, and I went in with pretty high expectations. Saw the trailers, a lot of really cool, pretty things to look at.
Editing for the trailer is really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Watanabe.
they knocked it out of the park. Yeah, I would say like the monster stuff, I loved. Like it was it's what you want. You know, King of the Monsters, you get like however many there's supposed to be.
You get monsters?
You get monsters, all
They
shapes
said
and
there's
sizes.
16?
16,
17.
We don't see that
17
many though.
and counting.
Yeah.
We see like a fraction of that, right? We see like
4.
You
7.
see 4.
See 4?
You see the mountain one. You see another
No,
Muto.
5.
You see a
There's
woolly
more.
mammoth.
5 or 6.
5.
And then you
5 or
see
6.
Mothra, Ghidorah, and Rodan.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
6.
6. Either way, it's still a pretty good amount. The only issues that I had were with same things that you said, Corey, was a lot of the dialect stuff and not enough monsters, I thought.
Yeah.
But I still had a really great time. I'd see it again. Recommend it.
Yeah.
So like Josh, growing up, Godzilla was a thing. I had all the toys. Fucking also, Ultraman was a thing for me. Stupid Japanese stuff were always a thing for me. Like giant suits in small towns. Small recreated towns were a
Yeah.
thing for me.
Yeah.
Power Rangers, all this stuff. So, I mean, my first ever Dragon Ball Godzilla movie was Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. And it had Baby Godzilla, so it was really dumb. And every movie that has Baby Godzilla
You
is really
shut
dumb.
your
Yeah,
mouth,
no, they're dumb.
sir.
Those are so dumb.
Shut
What?
your mouth,
Anything
sir.
with Baby
That has
Godzilla?
Baby Godzilla.
It's so dumb.
Hey, wait,
Like
no.
his first form?
No, just like people talk to it and it's like a dumb baby.
Oh.
I don't think I've seen it.
Just a
He
dumb
dances
baby
around.
Godzilla.
He dances
Yeah, he
around
goes,
on his
sings
tail.
a song. I'm the baby, gotta love me.
Oh my dinosaurs.
But then later on,
nice.
seeing like Return of
We should do an episode
Mechagodzilla,
on that.
all that stuff. So I love the Godzilla franchise. I love what Toho always try to establish with their filmmaking and studying Japanese filmmaking and world cinema, like Akira Kurosawa, as well as the people who make Godzilla. Like I always appreciated that, even if when they're making like these, blockbusters or fucking propaganda films, it always has like a really pretty positive meaning. And that's one thing I always loved about like non-American cinema.
Yeah.
Is that it's always highly rooted in a message other than the plot.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of Hollywood cinema misses that. They always rely so harshly on the narrative. And when movies like this, who are blockbusters, it's kind of like, which one you're going to take? You can go for the CGI monsters, you can go for the human story, or you're going to go for the conservation piece. And so, like, for me, it's more of just a ride. But I did have a chuckle here and there of like the dumb shit that happened, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Because to me, like, it gets to the point where like to me, it doesn't try to take itself seriously. When some
Well-
films that do take itself seriously, it does. Like they do stupid shit, which I
Well,
love.
a part of my my first impression or about it
That's
is
the
that
part we're in right now.
it felt like old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some things that were silly about it that will later when we go into this, there were silly things about it that I was like, yeah, that would happen in a Godzilla movie where you're like, that makes no sense, but I love it.
I was just really surprised of how Legendary was going to take a Japanese thing that's highly rooted in like a Monsterverse as well, with different monsters and having their own movies into one thing and make it more of like the Godzilla story. It's
Yeah.
like trying to do the Marvel Cinematic Universe only as Iron Man stories, like Iron Man 40, like will then get to Endgame. Like that's how that feels like, or this feels like. But
Yeah.
it's interesting to see where they go with it and the liberties they have. And since Legendary is only about the IP game, it's like, all right, let's see what you got. So I mean, I'm excited for the rest of the Monsterverse. Kaylin?
Kaylin.
I like the movie.
Oh.
Surprise. Surprise, surprise. My cousin Jerome, shout out.
Shout out.
He loves King Kong and Godzilla. That was like he
Who-
had
who's he like more?
every figurine. King Kong was his favorite, but like, or is his favorite. But he had like all the figurines, all the movies, every book you can imagine. Like he collected
So he
every
likes
collector's
it.
a lot.
He
a lot.
likes
Okay.
the King Kong.
Okay.
So I knew a lot about Godzilla. We watched the cartoons that had the baby in it.
Oh, from the spin-off series from '99.
Yeah.
Zilla.
Zilla. We watched all of it because my cousin was super into it. So we watched everything
I
that
was
had to
into
do
that
with
too.
Godzilla and King Kong. And so when I hadn't seen any of but there was a movie leading up to this, right?
There was
2014.
Godzilla, and then there was Kong Skull Island.
Right. I saw some of Kong, but I hadn't seen the 2014.
Kong Skull Island does a lot to establish what Monarch is, and
Yeah.
pretty much establish that there's more than one monster.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really need that since I like.
I mean, they make some
I knew
nods to
enough
it in
about
this.
it. Yeah. I saw little hellos to King Kong.
Naming all the islands, and they're like, and Skull Island, and this
Skull
island.
Island and Skull Island.
Bunch of real islands, and then Skull Island.
Skull
and then you're
Island.
Like, oh,
and-
okay.
okay, it's there. I get it. Thank you. But so I kind of came into it being like, oh, I already know I'm gonna like this because it's Godzilla and there's big monsters and I love watching big scary monsters fight.
Yay.
Yay!
Well, the cool
That's
thing
exactly
is that
what I went in with.
you have one monster that's on your side,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
just see like, oh yeah.
You have
So-
two monsters on your side.
Two, yes.
I wouldn't
two.
call one a monster, more of a god.
Ooh, nice.
Godzilla?
Nope.
It's in his name. That
Mothra.
makes no sense.
But so I wasn't expecting anything more than like just to watch big things fight each other and then like some useless people around. That did end up being like kind of helpful, which was fine.
Join the fight.
But I actually had a like huge emotional response to like
All the
a
fish
couple.
dying?
Yeah, the fish dying. That's
Yeah.
what got me, Tom.
Conservation piece, I'm telling you.
There was like lots of little things that they put in the movie. There was like the whole redemption arc that was supposed to be happening with Mark, and the eco stuff was kind of funny at parts, but we'll talk about that
Get
later.
out of here.
No, just how they did certain
I
things.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how they did certain things was
Why?
kind of ridiculous.
Oh, you mean them get out of here? Like that's ridiculous, or us?
No, we'll hear it. We'll hear it.
Oh, okay.
We'll hear it later. But yeah, I wasn't expecting.
Next time on Nerd On.
But yeah, it led up to this like big emotional burst, And I was crying at one scene for a very particular reason, but the guy next to me was crying at the same scene for a completely different reason than I was crying. And I was like, why are you crying?
He's like, I wanted to like
My
this
house
more.
burned down.
Oh, no.
That's why he's crying. I just got the text from my nest.
But, wow.
That's not funny.
And you're still sitting here.
Still sitting here watching the
I
movie.
mean, he
paid
watched
16.
it in, what did you watch it? IMAX, Prime X,
Yeah,
Maximal,
I saw it in 3D
Supreme.
Prime. So it was like,
Fire department's got it.
yeah, it was fun.
Paid $25 for this ticket. It's pretty much all I have left.
Oh, no.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Big emotional response.
Yeah.
And
So you liked the movie?
I liked the movie. I thought it was a little ridiculous at times, but it was par for the course. It was Godzilla. So
Yeah.
I liked the movie.
There you go.
That's my
All
first
right.
impression.
So that's it. That's
Movie
the
was
end of
good. I would
impressions.
watch again.
So now that leads us to our brief synopsis, a little bit lower in production.
Yeah.
Who wants to do the brief synopsis? Go
I
ahead,
got this. I got a
Corey.
really quick one.
I'll do production.
Sweet.
Fine.
So shit happened in 2014. People are sad about it. People broke up about it. Families are broken about it. They need to get Godzilla back. Monster fighting ensues with a even bigger alpha that we think. Ghidorah, the Monster Zero. Conservation happens. Arguing happens. Radiation happens. Then there's a big fight after they evacuate the city. The family comes back together only to be ripped apart again seconds later. And then Godzilla wins, and he's the king of the monsters.
Wow.
Bing, bam, bam,
Oh,
boom.
okay. Yeah, that was like 20
I was going to say there was
seconds.
kind of a twist in there, a little bit ish.
Ish.
Twist-ish.
Twist-ish.
It felt pretty twisty to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Wow.
twisted, but yeah, it's twisty.
Yeah, I was a little blindsided by that.
Okay.
Production, do a little bit lower.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it was distributed by Warner Brothers / Legendary / Toho. The director is Michael Dougherty. Dougherty? Yeah.
Doherty.
Dougherty?
I would say Doherty.
Doherty. Trick or Treat, Krampus is what he's known for. Producer Thomas Toll. Episode for Superman
Who
Returns.
Executive produced.
Executive produce. See, I don't know your abbreviations.
Yeah, executive produced Superman Returns, 300, Watchmen, Inception, and then produced.
Crimson Peak, Warcraft, Kong, Skull Island.
That makes sense.
You got John Jashney,
Who did?
same as Thomas Toll. You've got Brian Rogers, who did the Godzilla trilogy.
So far, so it's all the Monsterverse movies.
Is it called the Godzilla-dry?
Get out.
Wow.
You can go.
Moving on from that, Mary Parent, known for Revenant, Pacific Rim, Detective Pikachu, Beyblade.
He's going to be doing Beyblade. That's what we talked about on the Detective
Nice.
Pikachu episode.
Forgot about that.
Shout out to Ian.
Alex Garcia, exec in charge of production of 62, executive producer of House, joined Thomas Toll later. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Working together. Friends. Okay, screenplay is Michael Dougherty. He's known for X2, Superman Returns, Story of X-Men Apocalypse.
That's where I got him from.
Zach Shields, known for
That's
Krampus
where I
and
remember
the
him from.
upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong. And the characters are based on Toho. The cast, we've got Kyle Chandler, Friday Night Lights, Bloodlines, Super 8, King Kong, Vera Farmiga?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Conjuring
Farmiga.
series, The Departed, Up in the Air, Bates Motel. She's awesome in that. Millie Bobby Brown, A Star Rising, Stranger Things series, Handmaid's Tale. Bradley Whitford, West Wing, Get Out, Once Upon a Time, Intruders TV series. Thomas Middleditch,
My boy.
Silicon Valley, Drunk History, Once Upon a Time,
Which
in
I thought
Venice.
that was
also in
funny.
a movie called Joshi, which you should check out.
I
It's
love
very
it.
good.
Silicon
Bradley Whitford
Valley.
was in Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time. And then Thomas Middleditch was also in Once Upon a Time, but in a different universe completely.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
We've got Ken Watanabe.
Watanabe.
Watanabe. Last Samurai, Letters from
Iwo
Iwo Jima, Transformers Last Night, and Ziyi Zhang.
I would say I thought it was Zhang. Z
Zhang?
Zhang.
Please correct me.
Or Zhang. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not full
Zhang?
Chinese.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden
There's
Dragon,
middle.
House of Flying Daggers, Rush Hour, and then we also had Vivian.
Oh, my God. Wait, Rush Hour?
Yes, you one crazy
Yes,
ass bitch. And she says the
God,
fucking line.
yes.
And I was like,
That's where I know her
love
from.
She said the fucking. Anyways, Sally Hawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sally Hawkins from your favorite movie with the bear.
Totally.
I also want to give...
From Shape of Water, but
Oh,
also,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Care
also-
Bears, the movie.
no, the fucking one that's like 98% and the bear is CGI and it's all British. And it's like-
Paddington?
yeah, there you go. Your favorite movie? She's
I was gonna
My
say
favorite. I say
No,
once.
Revenant.
That's what I was gonna say.
I say once. That was a really good movie. You should check it out. Surprisingly funny. Your favorite movie is now Paddington 2.
That's who you are. You are Paddington.
I want to give Bradley Whitford a shout out for Cabin in the Woods because his performance in that might be one of my favorites of
I
his.
still haven't seen that. 'Cause I
mean,
heard it was scary.
Kaylin,
It's not. It's a parody of all
his startup, his claim to fame, I would say, is West Wing.
Yeah, West Wing.
Is West Wing because
For
he
sure.
was able to tackle Aaron Sorkin dialogue like
Instantly.
Wow.
Okay, so we got a runtime of 132 minutes, released May 31st, 2019. The budget, 200 million.
that. And the
Gross.
right now, the gross is 130 million worldwide.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
nice.
Okay.
The Rotten Tomatoes score 40% with an audience score of 87%. So
There we have it.
not too
Well done.
not too shabby.
Good job, Josh.
It,
tried.
It
Really
is
tried.
projected after today. Today is Sunday. We're recording, so you're listening to this anyways. Pulling the mirror curtain back, pulling the mirror back. That this is going to-
mirror back.
This is reportedly going to be the lowest financial or lowest successful movie out of the entire Monsterverse saga. So
Yeah.
Huh.
it opened up at a 49 million domestic weekend, I think.
Interesting.
Before we move away from production, can I point out that what's his face?
Kyle Chandler.
Chandler. He was in King Kong.
Yeah, he was in the original King Kong.
He played the actor dude,
He
right?
played, yeah, he was with the
Yeah.
Peter Jackson one.
So that's funny that he's in the same franchise again.
Yeah.
It's like as if
Don't notice.
I mean, JK, he was
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
I mean that's why he hates monsters so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get it. You get
Yeah,
it. He's
yeah.
angry.
So a little bit of like the lore of Godzilla. I mean, the first movie was in 1954, and it really is just like the piece of the whole. It's a piece with an I, not peace as in peace to everyone. About like the radioactive horrors, and
Yeah.
like everyone still had the minds of what happened with Hiroshima and all that stuff with the nuclear bombs, and so they created this. They created this monster of radioactive power that absorbed the electricity, blackouts throughout the night, and destroyed buildings and stuff like that. So obviously, it looks a little janky by our 2019 standards and stuff like
That's
that.
a good word for it.
Smidge.
Janky.
Oh man, I love that word.
Yeah.
I remember watching it on TCM, Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah.
back in
Sometimes
the
on
day.
USA.
And like I, as a kid, hated it, but I knew that this is the first Godzilla, and I really appreciated that. All these dumb,
I loved
Godzilla
it.
fight movies and all that stuff. I mean, I
I have a
have
feeling that I didn't have a reference point, maybe.
But
So
I-
when I saw it, I was like,
no,
Ooh.
I was a stupid kid, so I didn't have
You
any.
still are,
I didn't
but-
have I didn't have a reference point. But also, did you watch the original or the one that the America redid?
it was original.
So
From what I-
so the American actor wasn't in it.
No.
Because America, they took that because movies have to go sell across.
At least
seas
I
and
don't
shit.
remember. No.
And they put in, I forget.
They
some,
put in an American
They
actor.
put in some really famous actor.
Oh,
And
really?
they interjected a lot of scenes in it where he just like talks to random people.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, and so I mean that's the kind of stuff where it's like with me.
These were the movies that gave me reference points of bad dubbing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like-
I will fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the entire Kung Pao movie.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But so I would say like this, like the Godzilla franchise in terms of American eyes that are, I guess, would like or more catered towards like a Western cinema, or it's marred already in like controversy / like bad production, whereas like people who have embraced the Eastern cinema like love
Yeah.
it, and like they want to see like things that I don't even like about the Godzilla stuff, the like campiness of it, like where like there's like a dancing turtle and then all of a sudden there's a dance routine in the middle of a fight, like really crazy weird stuff that happens in Godzilla movies. So I mean, this is a rich franchise with like I think over 20 to 30 films
Sounds about right.
spanning
There's a lot.
50 to 70 years.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of cool to see that this America's taking, we took Godzilla and Zilla and the original 1999 one, the original American Zilla one.
And they killed it in the next Japanese version, by the way.
Toho bought the
Yeah.
rights back.
Yeah.
And then
so-
they immediately killed Zilla on screen.
Well,
because
because they did Godzilla 2000,
Yeah.
and then that's
Oh,
when
oh.
he fought all the monsters, and it was supposed to be the end of the good guy Godzilla. And the current run right now with Japanese Toho is Shin Godzilla, and it's supposed to be like a recreation of the exact 1954 Godzilla, which is
Yeah.
more of a conservation piece, like the destructive powers that we have with technology and all these radioactive powers, all that stuff. But the crazy thing is that the person who developed the 1999 Godzilla
Yeah.
did
The
most
iguana.
he did all of the design for like Underworld and
Oh,
the
okay.
popular monsters back in the day, and Toho gave him complete reins to like just change it all up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you don't like it, Toho also said yes to it.
Yeah, that's true.
So but then after they saw how bad the movie did, took it away.
I just thought it was funny how their response was to immediately.
I heard that it was just like they
Put it in
gave
their
him the
phone.
prompts of like Godzilla can't kill humans, humans can't kill Godzilla or something. Like Godzilla can't die in the movie,
Yeah.
and like it has to have 3 rows of scales. But it was like they broke literally every single one of those rules when they submitted it, and they couldn't make like tiny adjustments. So they just like they're like, well,
Kept going.
just let it ride.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of
Let
thing.
it ride.
was
They gave-
so far gone.
They gave Roland Emmerich all the reins, and
Yeah.
then he brought in that guy because he knew he's like, oh, I like this guy because he does all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, this was the first Godzilla that was like the biggest Godzilla, and then immediately the next. Toho's weird.
Yeah.
Every time America puts out a Godzilla movie, Toho puts another one out in Japan. Because right after
that
2014,
2016 one
they
looks
did
good.
They
though.
did Shin Godzilla. He's more monstrous and it's
Yeah.
creepy as fuck. But
and he's
it's-
all red instead of blue.
yeah, like this one was the recorded tallest Godzilla of all, and then Toho made a new one and it was taller.
And
They
so we
said,
made
"Oh,
a bigger
yeah?"
one.
Yeah, and then
And now this one's bigger.
no, and then Kong
Yeah.
Skull
Oh my
Island came
God.
out, and then Netflix did their Godzilla series,
Yeah.
and it's a planet-sized Godzilla.
Oh, I didn't see
Wow.
I'm
that.
just like
Wow.
because they did it in
Okay.
a world where like is if everyone left, humanity left the planet, and if Godzilla just lived for 300 years, it just became a planet-sized.
Oh, because
Godzilla.
it's like a fish in a pond instead of a bowl.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so like it
Grows
had a
to
baby
scale.
Godzilla that was even bigger than this Godzilla. I'm just
Yeah.
like, come on.
It's ridiculous. So there comes. I really like the size of this one.
Yeah,
I really
Yeah, I
like
do
the
too.
design of it, even though he's like a little thick boy.
Yeah, but it
has to be,
works.
He's-
It works.
He's thickness.
I mean, Godzilla's always
There's
because
the
he doesn't
whole-
look fat. He just looks like he's like fucking
He's
ready
big
to
boy.
go.
he looks like a pit bull.
BOI.
He looks
There's
like
yeah, like
he did time in a prison and fucking just got jacked.
he's just like, oh,
all he did was
shit.
work out.
Yeah, he just did
Isn't there?
pull-ups.
There's like
not fat, but he's
videos
not
you can
muscular, but
find
you're
or
scared.
articles you can read where like that, like Ant-Man can't actually exist as Giant Man. Like he would crush his own bones or something like that. So there is a
Oh,
you
this is
can't-
anatomically
you can't-
correct.
You can't just scale something up and
Yeah.
for it to work the way like a you can't scale up an ant. It would like crush his own legs or something like that. So there is something to that where like I
Yeah.
like the design of this where he's bottom heavy and stuff like
Because it feels right.
because there's gravity. It's 9.8 meters per
Oh,
second.
and seeing him swim
You're,
was
you're
cool,
on
too.
Earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still have to live by the physics of
Yeah.
the planet you're on.
So with that,
favorite parts.
Favorite parts.
Yeah.
I'll go straight up, real quick, out with the pocket, in with the gun. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah. I
No,
was like,
but
no,
I
I
don't.
don't know what you're
I do
saying.
not.
I don't
No.
know.
Please
Say
continue,
words.
though.
Never gonna have a rap career.
Yet.
The moment when you first see the scales lighting up,
Yeah.
and he's about to shoot
Through the tail?
From the
Yeah,
tail?
from the tail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got pretty fucking
I
hyped
was
for
like,
that.
oh shit! It's like such good sound design. It's pretty much what I told Corey. Like, if this franchise does really well, it'll be like the Iron Man repulsor sound. You know, like it's such a
Yeah.
good sound.
Yeah.
But it's also like it's also like good camera work
Yeah.
because it like his tail lands right and then it starts glowing.
And there's
Watch
also
it back
like
up.
there's kind of a
Boom,
subtext
boom,
behind
boom,
it where
boom,
he's
boom.
like, "Oh yeah," like because
Yeah.
just before that he had gotten real bad hit,
Mhm.
and then his tail comes down, and then it's like,
Because he hit him with
"Well,
lightning.
I've got this too."
Yeah.
I think it's in the same scene. There's a part where Godzilla goes down a little bit, and it's not slow motion.
I'm always going down.
but
I knew he was going
everybody at home. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we apologize.
We-
for
we
this. This is what we
apologize.
have to.
I like
Anyway,
how you apologize and Ollie's like, I'm waiting.
I'm waiting for it. So I know what's happening.
we all smiled over here as soon as you said it.
But
by
there
the
is
way.
a shot of Godzilla and his head, and the moon is behind him. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like,
I saw that. Yeah,
"Oh, that
I
was
noticed that.
visually amazing."
And the moon was big because
Yeah.
it was in Antarctica.
Yeah.
It was in that scene. I remember
Yeah.
that.
I would also definitely
the
say
land of no bears.
I've heard it across
that
the
means.
board.
Oh.
King Ghidorah, and King
I thought it was-
Ghidorah.
I thought it was Ghidorah.
Ghidorah.
So I've heard it all three ways.
Let's agree on one right now.
I'm going
Go.
with movie.
Ghidorah.
Ghidorah.
The movie.
I kept thinking she was saying Ghidorah with a like K.
The G, baby.
I've always
Ghidorah.
called it King Ghidorah, but then when I heard more and more people call it Ghidorah, I was like, have I been saying it wrong this
That
entire
sounds
time?
silly to me.
I would go with what's in the movie
Ghidorah.
For their
All right.
for their canon.
this,
Ghidorah.
yeah, let's
For
say
their
Ghidorah
canon.
for the rest of this
Yes.
episode.
Okay.
for their run.
Every word becomes Ghidorah. Go.
Ghidorah did Ghidorah and Ghidorah.
Yeah.
But no, that's just my one for right now. But go ahead, guys.
I mean, pretty much anything Bradley Whitford, Ken Watanabe, or Thomas Middleditch did. Anything. Anytime they were on screen, I was
Yeah.
like, this. Just focus on them.
I
This
re-
is so good.
Bradley Whitford was such a great addition.
Huh?
He
Oh,
was
yeah.
such a great addition to this.
I mean,
Bradley Whitford. Like he killed it.
Him and Thomas Middleditch together, too. And then, I mean, giving Ken Watanabe every dramatic line in the entire film is also a great idea because anything he says, you're just like, okay.
I'll go.
Even though all he says throughout the whole film is like, we need to trust in Godzilla. That's his whole line through the whole film.
Yeah.
I'll go. There's no debate. I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
No
Asian
one's-
man saving us.
Yeah. So pretty much anything they did,
And he says, oh, goodbye, my friend.
and any monster fight, any of them. I don't get
Any
any
of
fucking
them.
one.
Any
The
single
plane
monster
one with Rodan.
Rodan.
Was when it started twirling and hitting all the planes. I was like, "Oh, this is the coolest fucking thing in the world." I'm so scared, but that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I like how they came up with their names. I really appreciate it. To me, I love adapted work, and I like seeing how are they gonna make this Americanized or global? Because in the Toho ones are all like just
You got a fancy name
Japanese-
for that one?
They're just like Japanese names are just like I'm gonna put this name on it. I'm gonna put this
Love that
name on
one.
it. And we didn't need that to Ollie's dismay is like when people self-name themselves.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like really fucking obnoxious. But here it's like you got a name for that one. It's like, well, the people down there call it Rodan. And it's like, oh shit. So
Yeah.
it's like that's the name. It's like,
I like
cool.
that. It's
But-
like in Beast Wars when he's like, "I'm Silver Wolf now," and you're like, "Why? Why are you Silver Wolf? You just named yourself. Who's gonna call you that?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I really like this, and I mean, like, I loved Z Zhang.
Zhang.
Yeah, the crazy ass
Zhang.
bitch. Her.
Yeah.
I loved it when she said "bitch" to Vera
bitch.
Farmiga's character. I was like, yes, because you were called a crazy bitch because you were a crazy bitch
Yeah.
in the shower. But also, I loved when they revealed that
It
she
could
had
have
a
been
twin.
somebody.
Because it's the whole thing of Mothra. Mothra had his own film, her own film, and she is Queen of the Monsters. And she was like in this one tribal city kind of thing, much like the people in Kong Skull Island who were just like native tribes people who like just prayed to this goddess. And there was always a priestess that like spoke for Mothra.
Wasn't it like twins though?
Twins, they're always twins.
Yeah.
And I was like waiting for it. I'm like, are they gonna do that? Like, this is gonna be so weird. Like, I don't know where here's magic.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna do this?
Because I can't accept giant monsters, but magic.
Like,
That's where I draw
like,
the line.
everything is so like science based. Like, we've designation Muto, massive
I missed the magic. What's
unidentified.
the magic? I missed it.
There was
In the original one, it's a purely. It's,
I
it's,
thought it was like in this one. I was like, I
Mothra
don't
was
remember
not.
magic.
Mothra
was
is
none.
literally a god.
Yeah.
Mothra is literally a god that comes in and like helps Godzilla and always is a good guy. Like Godzilla sometimes becomes a bad guy. Rodan sometimes becomes a bad guy, but Mothra is always a good guy. You're like your
Yeah.
favorite character, support character.
Yeah. Sport,
And-
sport healer.
Yeah. And this
All
one here,
day.
it's like
Fair.
I liked how there was twins and they just always been studying it. I'm like, I really like this because it's the same lore ish,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but adapted.
It's a nod.
Yeah,
you
which I was
guys-
like, oh, that's so cool.
Did you guys notice when Godzilla got
Godzilla got Zilled?
he sunk basically
Yeah.
and Mothra was above, and she had this like weird tractor beam thing coming?
Yeah, she
Did
was
you
like a
notice
light from
that?
the sky.
What
Yeah,
was
I
that?
noticed it.
Well, because she was talking to Godzilla.
Oh,
And then they were like, only one person can find it. We found Godzilla's track.
could be.
oh, was
that-
she was
Yeah.
she being the beacon?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
she's
because they
like,
were going to
Oh.
follow her
Got it.
because she was finding him.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Well, it could
And-
be that she was like sort of kind of trying to restore just enough energy, something too.
Well,
when
Because I feel
Mothra
like
gets
I
destroyed.
never
at the
felt like
end-
he was lost because the thing exploded. You're not going to miss Godzilla
no,
if you
no,
just
no.
go down.
So
in the
no,
ocean.
he died. Everyone thought he died because his radiation went down, his heartbeat went down,
Yeah.
and they just couldn't find him. They couldn't
Yeah.
find him. Kyle Chandler was like, "Fuck
Oh,
this! I'm
right.
gonna go save my daughter." And all of a sudden, what's this bright light Deus Ex Mothra coming in? And then he's like,
It
"What
was
is
good,
it?"
but I'm not happy about
You're
it.
the angels, and then she's like, "Yo, Godzilla, don't be a bitch. Come and fight your boy."
She didn't say
And then
that.
she's like, and then
No.
he's like, "What's happening?" It's like
She would
he's
never.
talking to Godzilla, obviously, and it's like we got to find Godzilla.
So who else had favorite parts?
That's it.
I loved everything with Rodan. Like that whole sequence
Yeah.
of
Another big bird,
coming out of the
lava.
out of the volcano.
And then the
But-
music swell.
Yeah, of course, music's well. No,
close thing that
but
looks like
I
the Batman.
loved
Yeah.
any of the shots like from the village, like looking towards the volcano.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
because I really felt immersed there, and I was like, man, to
How
like turn
terrifying
around.
was the wind too.
Oh my God,
Like,
that's
well, yeah,
fucking
that was. I
terrifying.
mean, that whole sequence leading into the airplane fight in the midair.
That might be
battle,
my favorite
Like
sequence,
that whole
actually.
sequence was
But
really
also-
horrifying.
I
This
think it
bitch-
might have been broken up, but it like I just loved the way it got out of the thing. It was on top of the volcano, and I was like, man, if I was like in that village looking up in a mountain that's really far away, but I see that giant ass bird, and I know it's only a few seconds before that thing will be here. Where am I gonna go?
What am I
behind the
gonna
buil-
do?
go behind the
It's
building.
pretty like
They're-
useless.
They started evacuating, and like I was like, yeah, I'm in it. Like this is a cool.
I
Little
liked how
sequence.
the bird did a barrel roll.
Yeah.
Dude, that was
Killed
so
everybody.
Falco did a barrel roll.
satisfying to see that.
I guess I should be thankful.
And it was all like lava, like there was still lava
Oh,
coming off
yeah,
his
yeah,
wings, and like it was just
It was,
it
like,
was a really cool
constantly on
design.
fire.
Yeah,
It was
I
very
thought,
neat.
so that's actually a cool thing too, because it's like a middle between. So Rodan has like Rodan's just like a pterodon, a giant pterodon, but then it dies, and then Godzilla brings it back to life, and then it becomes fire Rodan. And it becomes like orangey and red, and it shoots beams just like Godzilla. And this one doesn't have that, but it has like the fire wings. So
And
I'm
it
like,
gets killed and comes back.
well,
It's
you
the
could
same-
tell that
It's
it
kind of
has
the
like
in-between.
lava blood or something because it got
Yeah.
stabbed and it's like molten.
it's a
Yeah.
fire. It's a fire demon.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
it was awesome.
That makes sense.
I love
What about you, Caitlin?
Her name was Madison, right?
Yeah.
Millie Bobby's character.
Yeah,
11.
Yes, 11 goes on an adventure. The movie.
Enjoy the life on the upside.
she gets adopted and then Godzilla happens.
She's like, these upside down monsters have gotten nuts.
It's a Demogorgon. Shut up.
When Madison screams at Ghidorah, like
Oh, yeah.
when she's
When
gonna
she's about to die.
fucking get eaten, and she's like, "Fuck you!" Like that was the best
Yeah.
ever.
Or in the elevator when he's like looking at her and she kind of wipes her eye and just
middle
flips him
finger.
That
off.
was
Oh, that was
great.
pretty
I
fun.
was
That
like,
pretty good.
oh, that's awesome. There was a sequence with her. It was basically just before the final battle begins, and it's when Godzilla like shows up because she
Oh,
looks
she
around
smiles.
and she
It's
smirks.
the one that's in the trailer.
And it was like, damn.
Yeah.
She's like,
So
fuck
when
you,
I saw
bird.
the trailer and I saw that
Or
thought, I
dragons,
saw that
whatever.
scene, I was like, oh, is she gonna have some kind of connection with the kaiju? Because I was totally down
thought
for that,
Yeah.
but no.
No.
I also
I was
love
kind of
Symbiosis.
excited for it, but that's fine.
And they never showed her crying in front of a monitor doing the 11 thing, and I was
No.
like, oh.
I also loved Godzilla's like nuke powers at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every time he did it,
It was a boss fight.
what it was,
Use
but,
self-destruct.
but not just that, but
Use
what it was doing,
self-destruct.
He just took a step,
but what it was doing to Ghidorah
Yeah.
was
burning him off.
awesome.
Yeah.
Have you? It reminded me of Anthem. Those
It
bosses
did.
that send out the fire waves and
Yeah.
jump over them. You're
Yeah.
like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah,
what-
but I just love he like
Each
it
step.
melted a bit of him off, or like it
His
burned
burn
one
him.
of his
his wings
heads,
just
Like,
completely
oh,
became bones.
Shit, that's really
was
messing
nuts.
him up. And then
I
he kept doing it over and over. I'm like, yes.
I would say to me, I prefer that over, and I've said this before, CGI dust powers. I hate CGI dust
Oh.
powers. Like Thanos snap, whatever, but it's
Yeah.
like, I want to see that kind of level of destruction where it's like, stomp, like half the people are dead.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
That's basically what was happening.
That's true to me. I was like, that's a real.
If there was anything else lesser than Ghidorah, he would die in one hit.
Yeah.
I think and one of my other favorite sequences was open the gates or whatever, the windows.
Oh, where
The
it's in the
shields.
water.
Oh,
Shields,
yeah.
thank you.
Submechanicophobia
Yeah,
right
and
there.
seeing submechanophobia.
Swimming towards.
Except no, because that's human things underwater. But this
Oh.
would be a fear of large things underwater. I don't know the name of that, but seeing Godzilla in the water swimming towards them with just the lights on his back and his eyes
With a really good jump scare.
felt really great.
really good
yeah,
jump
yeah. And hearing the sound, and then of course Bradley Whitford's. Can we close the shields now?
Oh, I know. The one before, though, was like, can we open the shield? I was like, yeah, sure, we'll invite him for coffee. What are you thinking?
Yeah, he's just every line he says is effortless,
Yeah.
100%.
it's Perfect.
It's been trained well.
But I liked that whole sequence. It felt really good.
It was a good, like, intro. Like, we see Godzilla for the first
That
time.
shot was
Yeah.
really great too, of Kyle Chandler standing in front of that giant window with him, like looking back at him and stuff. And yeah, good jump scare, really good jump scare.
Oh, yeah. I
God.
wasn't expecting
Yeah.
that. I was a little mad.
I was, and it still got me. I was like, it's gonna something.
There's
he's
gotta
gonna-
be. It was too quiet
He's gonna
of
make
a-
a sound or something.
Yeah.
So
I also love when Godzilla like the submarine reaches the surface and then Godzilla like stands up. He fucking it like zooms in and he mean mugs everyone on the submarine. And they're all like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
and then he Dr. Alan Grant's. Nobody move a muscle.
It's great.
His vision's based on movement.
A little big for that.
Not when
Do
he's that
that,
hyper
Josh?
focused on me, giving me direct eye contact.
Yeah.
Then I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, I've been kind of like interjecting as we've been
fair.
talking.
I
I mean,
would
the
s-
final battle was just, it was, I
yeah.
know it was a series of like half an hour, but it was just like from the start
As
to
it
finish.
should have been.
The start to finish of just like everything happening, and you're like, oh no, this is bad. It's still bad.
Getting
It's gotten
worse.
a little bit better. No,
Oh, no, that's
still
not
bad.
good. Oh, no, that's not
I
good.
did for a minute. Can I be honest with you? There was a shot for a minute after Godzilla goes like radiation berserk atomic level and everything's melting and buildings are, and they cut in close on something. And for a minute, I thought they were gonna show the mom like
I
push a
did
car
too.
aside, and I was like, "Don't you dare! No way! No way does it melt Ghidorah." But she's like, "Oh, good thing I was under this sedan."
I was in a refrigerator.
I thought the exact
I
same
was
thing.
like, "Don't do it. Let it happen."
One thing I really liked, and we talked a little bit about it, was Ken Watanabe's death. Like, I really fucking love
Yeah.
that scene.
Goodbye,
Yeah.
old
I
friend.
don't love how contrived it was to get him there, though.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
everything just stopped working, so he has to do it manually.
it was
All
kind of
right.
like here to there. It's like, now this doesn't work. Now this doesn't work.
That was a lot. That was one of my qualms for sure. But yeah.
So my favorite part is Ollie's least favorite part. Everyone at home. I just
that's not what I said.
well shut up.
Your scene is awesome.
So I really liked it's just like I don't know. I just really like this whole like the one person that probably respects Godzilla the most is the one that kind of brings him back and all that stuff. And it's like, I don't know, it's just a really good moment between him and a CGI fucking monster.
Yeah.
And it's like he just says goodbye, old friend, and it's the only Japanese words spoken in the entire film.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fucking return to form a little bit. Like, let me see that. Which also gets compounded by like
Is
I
that
think
Atlantis?
when the first I think the last fight starts and we hear
so.
dun dun dun, you're like the Godzilla theme.
Oh,
And then
dun, dun, dun.
and then you hear the dun 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 dun. I was like, oh my god, they're using the original theme. I was like, oh.
Bear
Although-
McCreary's score, like through the whole thing. Bear McCreary,
Shout out to you, boy.
6 Degrees of Separation. I know you.
Oh,
I have a friend of a friend. Anyway,
Josh wants to sleep beside you, apparently.
please.
anyway,
That'd be cool.
such a good score.
No, it's
I
so
mean,
good.
every second of it, I was loving.
I just I said save for the credits. There's only like 3 or 4 songs.
There's not many, yeah, but
And
they're used really well.
Yeah, I really liked how they like Bear.
Bear,
I really liked how
as in the animal bear.
because he looks like Godzilla.
Yeah.
I really like how
Exactly.
he adapted the original themes and just made it like work so well for the
Yeah.
fights. And I was just
The
like,
chanting and
Yeah, the chanting
Oh.
was awesome.
I'm sorry. I think I accidentally cut you off,
No.
Ollie.
The chanting
no,
was
he,
awesome.
you know,
so.
he was
Okay.
he was cutting me off
like,
when he was
"That was
saying my
cool."
favorite parts of Squam. So don't worry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
it
since
for-
you were
that's it
so
for
quick
me.
on the jump, or no, never mind. Favorite character or monster?
Favorite monster.
Godzilla. 100%.
Okay, well, other than the titular character.
Why?
Side monster.
Wait, why? No, I mean, honestly, his design, the color scheme of him, the sound he makes when he uses his power, his entire story in this, it's Godzilla, 100%.
Godzilla for sure. I would definitely say shout out to Mothra just because that
stinger
bitch
move.
better fucking come back. If she don't come back, I'm gonna be
They,
pissed.
they
she's
had a
come
little.
back.
They had a little thing at the end credits that's like giant egg found, maybe Mothra.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, at the end.
End
yeah.
end.
Oh, I mean during the
before
credits. Yeah.
pre-credit roll.
Yeah. There's so much shit happening going on. I don't know. All I saw
Yeah.
was
There
"We'll
was
take
a
it."
lot of information given in that end
That's the
title
post-credit.
sequence.
That's
So
post-credit.
much.
Yeah, that's supposed
There was
to be.
like
Those?
No, what he was saying is
the
Oh,
end
oh,
title
oh.
sequence, right?
Yeah.
post-credit scene.
No,
I'm
no,
talking
no.
about the end.
He-
Yeah,
he's
yeah, I
talking
know.
about the newspapers
yeah,
flashing by.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
A lot of information.
I want to like
redacted shit.
pause that when I get it on whatever
Yeah.
digital. Just be
Yeah.
like,
See the whole
When
movie
you get
again
on
just for
DVD?
those like 10.
yeah, just be like, what were these
5
exactly?
minutes.
Let's speculate.
Um,
They're probably all online.
Go ahead.
Probably. Mothra for me. Mothra was cool as shit. Came
I
in
liked her
clutch.
sound design too.
All of her sound design.
Yeah, Mothra's
the-
sound was awesome.
yeah.
I like how it shot those webs.
Sounded like
shot
uh,
those webs.
Butterfree. And I was like, that's what it sounded like. Butterfree.
Butterfree. Yeah.
You know, Josh, Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, I know this is the bad guy, but Ghidorah was pretty baller.
King,
Just
you
looking
motherfucker.
at
Not anymore.
watching. I mean, Godzilla, of course, but Ghidorah was like watching
When-
just what they did with
The wings out.
when he
Thunder.
bit the power station,
Yeah.
like just magic
It was
fingers.
just
When he pulled
badass.
Godzilla up into the atmosphere and dropped him.
That was cool.
To be
like
fair,
an
that
asshole.
would cause mass extinction, by the way. Scientifically, dropping something that large would cause him.
He's like 900 tons. I
There
think.
would be no way anyone would be alive near there.
Yeah.
Fair.
That took
So,
me out of the
uh,
film.
A little bit. We'll
be
get
honest.
we'll get to qualms. We'll get to
Yeah, we'll
qualms.
get to
Don't worry.
My favorite would be Rodan, I think.
Oh wow.
It's
Yeah.
Still, like, I
guess-
just love
Makes sense.
It's a
the
close
way it
second for
looked.
me,
I
Ollie.
guess Erica and Koga is not for you then, huh? No bug
Nah.
poison.
Another of my favorite
Shout out-
parts
second would be
is that
Mothra.
my favorite monster stabbed your favorite monster.
Yes.
That's a
was
favorite
cool.
part of mine.
But
I'm glad there's a
also,
person
his
between us.
favorite monster survived. Oh.
Josh helped me,
well.
protect me, save me.
Haha, turn that right
But
around.
mine helped Godzilla, so
Yeah.
there.
His is
She
fireproof.
can't get to
Protecting
me.
all these.
Yours is
I mean, his is helping Godzilla currently still.
Yes.
All right, fine.
He's back.
Well,
kidding.
Rodan's fireproof is
it's
yours.
just
turned
a
against
lava
me
wound.
pretty quickly.
You started it.
Kaylin,
Fair.
it's just a lava wound. It'll,
It's
it'll
just a
heal.
lava.
Tis
Wow.
Tis just a lava wound.
Wow.
Anyway, sorry.
So
There we go.
But I really do love when Ghidorah grew that head back. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This-
I thought if they were going to go there, and they did.
I loved.
I was like, I also saw Hercules.
I loved that they kept that
Is he always?
Ghidorah was space.
Is he
Yeah.
supposed to
Yes.
be? Okay, good.
Always space, and I love.
I thought
that
it
they
was a
kept
case where they were like, that's a little ridiculous, so let's make him from space. But no, I'm glad that it's actually supposed
A
to be.
thing.
I loved that because I was like, oh, please. Because now I'm like, are they going to do Space Godzilla? Are they going to do Mecha Godzilla? Are they going to do Mecha King Ghidorah?
they're
What the fuck are they going to do?
They're
That's
going
if
in that
people can buy
direction.
it.
At the very least, it's going to be cloned.
I think Mecha.
I think
At the
Mecha.
least, I
I
said.
think Mecha, baby.
Yeah, they got to go Mecha.
At the
That's
best,
where you have
we'll
to
get
go.
Mecha.
That's where you have to go from there.
But also, how do you
Or
build?
I would be
Mecha
severely
Godzilla?
disappointed if they
How do you
didn't
build a robot
Mecha.
the size of a skyscraper? Just build it, I guess.
I mean, you get a skyscraper.
You just build
put
it.
You,
just
put, you
build
get a
it.
skyscraper. You put a head on it.
Takes 10 years.
Oh my god.
That's what you do.
Blow it up with a
How do you
nuke.
attract giant monsters to you? You play their own voices with also humans.
You get a biomechanical
We'll get there, Corey.
killer whale.
Okay, so did everybody go on favorite
I
monster?
think so.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it sounds like the gun is
Qualms.
being jumped.
Yes.
Qualms.
Jump that gun.
Jumped it. Sorry.
Good
Fixing
job, Corey.
electronics in the rain,
Yeah.
that drove me absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That was the
you got caught on.
I was
I'll
so
agree. No, I
That was the
agree.
mole on the back of the
I'm
neck.
gonna
That's
ask
the mole on the back of the
Kaylin, I'm
neck.
going to ask you, how do all the outdoor electronics in the world get fixed in the rain?
like you don't fucking open the panel to let all the rain in and then do
You're gonna fry your
electrical work.
electronics.
And the most important
so-
piece of
like-
electronics
That
in the
saved
whole
world.
film.
Yeah.
Oh, is unguarded.
Yeah.
That's
Is
my
unguarded.
that was my
Completely
biggest
unguarded.
qualm. So like, okay, can I dive into that real quick?
Yes,
because
please.
you write this girl character who's self-sufficient, very smart,
11.
like understands what her mom's work is, understands the monsters, has been in part of it. She's quick thinking, you know what I mean? Like she's independent. And then you write a scene where the most important piece of technology in the world, you just see three guys go, oh, well, lunch break, and they walk away. You could have given that a cool scene with her, like, using the skills that you have foreshadowed in the film of her being smart and thinking for herself to, like, trick a guy or trick a guard or
Yeah.
whatever and take it and go. And I was really disappointed that they didn't use her more.
Yeah.
For me, a character piece is as much as I love him, and I like I grew up on stupid action '90s shit. It's kind of funny to see it in this movie. And to me, like I'll say it like this, it's a qualm, but it's something that I laugh at. It's like it's kind of like I love it, but it's also I'm gonna just call it out, like the dumb like he's going over there. They're like they warned him. They did the fucking Dr. Totopoulos in Godzilla thing with with Kyle Chandler's character.
Yeah.
They just made him
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I studied wolves, so I definitely know
They're
how
pack animals.
prehistoric monster works and
God.
operates. Like
Yeah.
it's just kind of funny because it's like there's never a time for them to just discuss or figure it out. It's like, no, I know what to do because I work with wolves. And it's like, my God. And it's like they don't
You
really
take photos of wolves.
they don't
Calm
really
down.
sell the fact that like obviously if you kind of like dive in a little deeper, like you know that him and his wife worked at Monarch and some shit like that. Like they had some kind of scientific background when he said like his son played with Ken Watanabe and shit. So it's like cool, they have a relationship. He's smart-ish, but they don't have a lot of like sell to show like there is credence behind it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like they do that all the time with action movies where it's like you're a oil rig guy and you have to teach our astronauts how to drill holes in asteroids
Yeah.
and shit because you're the best.
No, other way
asteroid.
around.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like
the other way around.
they don't show that shit.
You guys are oil riggers, and we're going to teach you how to be astronauts.
but even
You're
then,
like,
they don't even show like oil riggers teaching astronauts versus like this guy who plays with wolves, Kevin Costner, teaching these scientists.
that's not what that meant. That's not what that
Dancing with
movie.
wolves.
That's not what that movie
Dance with
is.
wolves. Nice.
It's like the same
Avatar.
Avadon.
I had
Dance
a
with
big
wolves?
issue with his character actually. That it was like
I did too,
he
yeah.
was a walking trope, and it really bugged me. He was the angry alcoholic who lost his family, hates himself, and is angry that he's there because you brought me out of retirement. And I just was like, I've seen this too much.
And I think, like I said it a lot, I'm joking with it, but it's like that one line, "Well, join the fight." It's
Yeah.
like so just the epitome of that character. And I've seen it so many times where it's like, that happened with fucking Adrian Brody in Predators. because he's like, they're smoking us out. How do you know? Because that's what I would do. It's like, calm down with that fucking writing. I get it. Like, he's a badass. He's like, now they're hunting us because
Well,
they
it's
have to
just
hunt
like-
each other.
It bugged me that he was the like guy who's taking photos with Wolf, but yet he's the smartest man in the room also, and he's that like he's his own Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by scientists
Who've
that do
done
this
nothing
for a
but
living.
studied
Yes.
Yeah,
these kaiju, and then he's like, open the door, you bitch. And
The
it's like,
only thing the
okay.
scientists do, because Kyle has that role, the scientists just like
Shout out to
warning.
Kyle.
They just warn about things. That's it.
I mean,
They don't like figure anything out really.
I would say like this, and Corey and I talked a little bit about it, but it's like, to me, my favorite characters human-wise are not the main characters.
no,
They're Ken Watanabe, they're Bradley Whitford, they're Thomas Middleditch, and then there's Zhang.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, because they were like cool, and like to Josh's point at the beginning, like most Godzilla films are always about the scientists who don't figure shit out, and it's always like the everyman who's just like thrown in the fucking middle of it because
Yeah.
like his kid died or fucking
Yeah.
2014, the
he's bored of
soldier.
his life, and
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
he's not Bryan Cranston, so he's important, and
Yeah.
so it's like that kind of shit happens where it's like why?
I think it could have been more interesting if the main character was Maddie, the girl.
I agree
Oh,
with that.
yeah.
I think her arc was really
focused more
interesting,
on
like
her.
trusting her mom so much and kind of not trusting her dad to like completely flipping because her mom turned out to be crazy and her dad was the sane one the whole time. So like I think if the parents had played more of a side role and Maddie had been what we followed the whole time, or most of the time, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
I wanted her to like figure some of the stuff. Like she kind of did with she kind of jumped the gun on the Boston stuff, right?
Yeah.
But like throughout the rest of it, I would have liked to see her like do more instead of just being a hostage.
Right. She's a good character and the arc is there. It was just less, we didn't see enough to like care
Right.
enough about her.
Caitlin,
Little question about
Yeah.
why did Maddie go with her mom rather than her dad?
because she believed in what her mom was doing, and her dad already left her.
Her dad, well, they explain in the movie that he became an alcoholic and
Right.
stopped like loving everything and hated everyone and like wasn't there for her.
I mean,
Okay.
she
So
already
technically he left.
yeah,
not
she
her.
already
Yeah.
been living with her mom and been trusting her mom and shit and burning toast for her
It just
mom.
like when that scene was playing out and her mom like goes back to
Oh.
the evil scaries, I was like, why are we going back?
Well,
Oh.
then that sets up for the twist of like, I'm Thanos.
Because
Yeah.
because so far the mom
Yeah.
has been there for her. So
Mamos.
who's she gonna trust? The
Okay.
mom who's like calm in that situation and going, "It's okay, Maddie, come back," or the dad who's like, "Come with me, I got a gun."
But then at this point, also she has that argument with her mom, and it's like, you said this is for the people. You said we were going to
She hadn't
save the
had
world.
that yet.
And they
She
haven't had
that
that yet.
And
Yeah.
so,
Well, and I also thought that they were trying to play into the whole like the alpha in the scenario because like she's like not hearing anything, but she hears very clearly her mom saying her name, and
Yeah.
that's when she starts to go back.
Yeah.
So I thought that they were playing into that a little bit, but I
Could be.
wasn't sure if
Could have been.
that's what
I-
was happening
to-
or it was like a weird.
to Corey's point, I would have actually preferred no family in the movie. It's just only the scientists.
Yeah,
Like Ken Watanabe still dies, and then Thomas Middleditch and Bradley Whitford take over.
yeah, I dig that.
Yeah.
So two white guys die while
see
the
that.
guy,
Kinda
the
goes
Asian
into-
guy, and the girl die.
That kind of goes
Oh.
into my
Two white guys die
to
while
one of
the
my
Asian
qualms.
No, two white guys take over while
That's what you meant to say.
Oh, great.
My big kind of overarching qualm with the characters is the fact that there was
qualm?
like
His gripe.
No.
my gripe. Sorry, my gripe with it was
It got
that they had too
That's why you
much
like
of a
Rodan.
complex human story for me to really like just sit down and enjoy the Godzilla stuff.
Yeah.
I felt like they tried to do too much with it and didn't really succeed in anything they were trying to do, and like characters didn't really have much of an arc. No one was really that interesting, and even what's his face Bradley was in there,
Bradley, yeah.
was there comedically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His character didn't need an arc, but like the rest of the
He was the
characters
comedy
kinda
relief.
did.
Like
Yeah.
But he was
for
the most
me,
interesting.
to that point,
Right,
like
exactly.
your
He
point,
was there. He was great.
They have this like pseudo family orchestrated plot thing that happens
Yeah.
in the foreground while all this shit's happening in the background. But like for me, you could have all those intricate development things. Like Ken Watanabe like survived, and he has to have like survivor's guilt, X, Y, and Z. Like all these things can happen within the Monarch people.
Yeah. Right.
and it's how they like they're fighting the government and like how to like not become a
Yeah,
militarized
without the
group.
family at all would have
like,
been cool.
Like they're trying to figure out like where are these things coming from. Like they could have showed like, yeah, now we have 17.
Like Thomas's character could have had a more could have been in
That-
Maddie's where he had to make a difficult.
Well, yeah,
decision
that's why I
to
say
flip.
him and Bradley Whitford take over for Sally Hawkins and Ken Watanabe's characters.
Yeah.
because those were like the forefront leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like these now this younger group who are fucking happen to be white guys
I was
cares?
worried. I was worried Thomas's character was going to be more like Charlie Day in Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I was wrong, and it actually was a good
But
character.
Bradley
He's a
Whitford
good
was
guy.
a little bit more
was-
of the Charlie Day.
That scene he
Well,
had
yeah,
with
but
Kyle Chandler outside
it was closer
great.
there, but it was he definitely held his own and had some great moments. Yeah.
And this all goes to, I would say, like, you still got to have some kind of human movie.
Yeah,
And
of course.
I just wanted to say it. I mean, like, we were going to say it too, but I want to say it with like an asterisk of like, we want to see more monster fights. It's like, if you guys had nothing but a 2-hour long monster fight movie, it would be fucking boring.
No.
I also think this could have been an hour and a half to an
It
hour
would be
and
boring,
40,
Caitlin.
45.
It would be boring, Caitlin. It would be.
2014 though, I never felt that way. I never felt like the humans were in the way. I never felt like there was issues with the plot.
Well, because like you have one guy who's like he knows what's happening, Bryan Cranston, who dies, and then you have Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's married or dating his sister in Marvel movies, and he's like fighting in the military. So it's like cool.
Oh, yeah,
that-
it's Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
Okay.
and it's like cool. He has to do all these missions with Godzilla, so it feels like, oh, cool. I'm experiencing Godzilla from a soldier's point of view.
Yeah.
Here, it's like, who's the perspective? Who's the audience surrogate? It's a family.
Yeah.
It's like, who gives a shit about a family? Families are dying everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's another soldier, or if it's like the engineers.
And
this time.
Or this, or the researchers.
Generally
Like,
don't like movies where the title character is gone for like
titular.
a good amount of it.
Yeah.
You know.
But I
Not
agree,
that
it
long,
couldn't
but
be
still.
all monster fights, and I think I got a good amount of monster. Like I'm happy with the amount there was, and I really liked the fight. Like I said, anytime the monsters on screen, I was like, this is.
I just
fucking
wanted
amazing.
what I wanted was like more intricate fights with the monsters. Like I wanted to see
But I-
someone.
You want to see some
I think-
Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
Yes.
I don't know, like
some
monsters
arm
using
bars?
their
Yes,
traits
I
to
do.
fight more.
This runs 212. This movie, I
Wow.
think it could have been 145 and been tight.
Wow.
And cut some of the human stuff, none of the monster stuff. Leave
Yeah,
that in.
leave the
145 tight, same amount of monster fighting, and you could have had like a really well-paced movie.
To me, I would have wanted more of the engineers like designating or discussing more about like how they're discovering the Titans.
Yeah.
Or like Z Zhang, like, discussing more about
The
Ghidorah.
lore, the myth, yes.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lore. Like explore
Yeah.
the universe a little bit for me, just
Right.
because it's like I don't want like as much as I fucking love Infinity War. I don't need like then the universe and the stones. It's like I don't need like a 5-minute. I need more. I need it throughout the entire film. I need parsley
Just
throughout the fucking meal. Like I don't want just a little speck on the side. Like talking about Rodan, talking like seeing how the natives discuss it, or like like what's that woolly mammoth monster and stuff like that. But so
that thing was cool. by
like
the way.
And then also
That's very
the,
cool.
the
I like
issue
the woolly
was.
mammoth
The
monster.
Oh, go ahead.
shoulders and
You
how it
finish what
moves.
you're
well, it's kind of like I loved their deduction powers, which is AKA just plot writing.
Yeah.
Of like it's as if it's defied all logic of natural law. It's like it's because it's not from our world. Maybe it's from space, and then it's like, well, that's how you explain it. But it's kind of like if they just did one like scientific thing. It's like it's changing the pressure around itself in the air so
Right.
that it's creating
Give us
whirlwinds.
a little science.
a little
for-
bit
for
so
the
that
magic.
so that it just like it has that stuff.
Josh,
Yes.
what you got?
I've got a bunch.
Let's do it.
Actually,
You've been so quiet.
Well, it's because your qualms. I was like,
Oh yeah.
they were things that didn't really bother me. I mean, you already mentioned kind of one of mine. I mean, it was kind of a logic. There's a suspension of disbelief in some of the fights where
Yeah.
it was like, okay, let me get this straight. Two of the biggest monsters on this planet are
Yeah.
fighting, and they're itty bitty tiny animals or humans just walking around, just trying to find things
Yep.
under
them.
this fight.
Do you know that would all be like
all be
9.8
dust.
seismic earthquakes
I
every
mean,
step?
Yeah.
The amount
Not
of
to mention the whole thing
destruction.
falling.
Well, maybe you don't know this, but Rocky was their trainer, and they gotta be light, they gotta be light on
Yeah.
their feet. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
They gotta be light on
God.
the feet.
They have bird bones.
So I mean, there was even a scene where Madison is running through the stadium.
Her name is
and
11.
11 is running through the stadium, and this giant slab of cement you can see on screen
Hits
her.
Hits her. And just
And
boops
she
her
just
a little bit.
She's boop,
Oh,
and she keeps
one
walking
of the
off,
like a little piece of the like foam
and she
debris.
even screams like
Yeah.
she got hit. And then the next, it cuts to her running
Oh,
away, and I'm like,
continuity.
oh. Yeah, so that was a little bit of like a.
I mean, there was the same thing that happened with like open up the gates, open up the windows, and then
Yeah.
Bradley Whitford. Next
Yeah.
shot. He's just staring straight
Yeah.
out the window. I'm like, okay, come on. guys.
um,
But the same thing that also happened when they were trying to bring the helicopter into the jet thingy. You see some of the debris just bounce off like sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Were you
it's sponge.
one of the ones I mentioned? You
all
talk
foam.
about the way he drops him, and it's like that
yeah,
would
I mean,
be
it was just like there
that
was
would change the world forever. Like, that
Yeah,
would
he's massive.
us into the Ice Age.
Godzilla
It's thick.
is thick.
Thick boy.
Thicker.
He's literally the
he's
size
thicker
of the
than a-
meteors that we worry about wiping out existence.
He's thicker.
Exactly.
He's thicker than a Snickers.
The way that they handled Vivian's death, I was like, I think we were talking about this pre-recording where
Yeah.
it was like,
What
Wait,
happened?
what just
Where did she
happened?
go? What happened to her?
Oh,
Did
she's
she-
Yeah.
dead. She just happened.
I
In
completely
Antarctica.
missed her death. Like, I don't know if I was reaching for my drink or what, but I just looked up.
It was
Like,
one of
after
those
the
things
fight,
that
her
if
face
you
was
took
on
a
a
sip, you
monitor.
were like,
Her face
I
was on the
thought-
monitor, and I was like, what happened to her? What?
I honestly thought it was a step, and,
And it
then I
landed in
saw
front
a
of her.
head for a second, and I was like, "Wait, did she get eated? She got aided?
'Cause
I thought
what-
she got stepped on and was gone.
I think she got. It was the mouth though.
Because
picked
what
it up,
I
right?
saw happen was she screams, a big thing comes, and then it shows a shot of
Kyle Chandler. He's like, "What?"
he's like, what? And then Ghidorah has the like chunk of ice that I assume
mouth
she
or
was
hand?
just standing on in its mouth.
Oh yeah.
And then the
chomps
other
into it.
head like chomps into it too. So I'm assuming that was supposed to be the dramatic death. They just don't show anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I
So-
just
And
felt
it-
like for
it's-
such a
Is it
important
PG-13?
character,
That's
the way
why.
that they presented her at the beginning, she was an important character.
Right.
And then it was kind of her death was kind of uneventful.
Yeah,
I
it's
know that
PG-13.
crazy
Out of
stuff
nowhere.
was
Well, the
happening,
one
but
F-bomb.
you were
Yep.
like, and then they just kind of moved on.
Because I was excited
And you
for
were
her,
like-
'cause since 2014, we got
That might have been
Shape
a
of
moment
Water.
they changed in post. Because
Probably.
PG-13. If they show someone ripped in half, that's R.
Then they become
Yeah.
Hellboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got Shape of Water in between the movies, and I was like, I was
Is she gonna
excited
go
to
fuck
see
Godzilla?
her. Well, I was excited. No bathroom
sorry,
rituals.
everybody at
I was
home.
Stop
excited.
slamming the table.
I was excited. Hey, I'm doing this. Stop making noise.
No, not you.
I did it one time.
But I was excited to see her, and then like she all of a sudden was apparently dead,
Yep.
and I was like, well, okay,
That's it.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well,
I like her though.
I liked her a lot.
um,
I have one. I just want to squeeze one in.
cool.
Fortune cookie
Yeah.
irritated the shit out of me.
Longest
Fortune
fortune cookie
cookie?
ever.
Yeah, where he like Ken Watanabe starts saying like, you know, we
Most-
gotta do X, Y, and Z, and you gotta be better humans, and we gotta be positive. Did you just make that up yourself? No, I read it on a long fortune cookie. And it's like,
Is that the line
come
about
on,
the?
don't.
It couldn't be a
shit on
joke?
it.
Wounds.
I think it is.
The sometimes to heal our wounds we have to open them and confront the demon within.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Fortune cookie. Longest fortune cookie
hey,
ever.
let's fucking just water that fucking serious moment down with like it's a joke.
Bathos.
Don't fucking. Hey, also, I'm just telling you this is something that's gonna change your life.
Was he
and make
not
you-
kidding?
And make you feel good about yourself. It's not. Yeah, it's a fortune.
Don't worry,
was
don't
he?
worry
Wait,
about
was he not kidding? I thought it was like as a joke. Like we're gonna die. I'm making a joke.
Well, it's kind of
What
like
are you gonna do?
they're coming to terms with one death, and it's like this watch doesn't fucking work, and it's like time to change a new watch, and they're having the moment. It's like cool. They're
Yeah.
having a moment between each other, talking about death and shit. And
I
then
kind of
he's like,
thought it established their sense of humor with each other, but
I thought it was a joke.
the
Like
entire
but I-
time.
I did. But that's
To me,
I
that
can
irritates
understand why
me,
it
where it's like,
irritated you.
where he's like, I mean, like the whole. Do you have any fancy lines with this? Like that's a humor thing, but it's like,
Yeah.
I
why
think it's
go
just-
into fucking haiku prose shit to like fucking be like, no, I'm fucking.
It has
stupid.
a couple. It has some tone issues for sure. Like
Yeah.
there's some dialogue that doesn't quite fit with the mood.
That to me irritates me because
I can see that.
imagine if it wasn't a humor point. If it's
Yeah.
just like, hey, look, I'm trying to impart some fucking great knowledge with you. Here's my notebook.
Oh, I
'cause I'm
see.
gonna
It
die.
wasn't whether or not he was making a joke.
Yeah, if it's
Or
gonna
if-
go,
I thought you were saying I don't think that'd be ever be in a fortune cookie. I was like, I agree with you. I don't think it would.
no, of course, he's fucking making a joke
Yeah.
of it because it's written. But it's like, what if it was just a fucking serious moment?
Yeah.
Would it have taken it away?
No.
It's like, why don't you just have a serious moment versus like, we have to make a joke?
You have to have levity.
Because, you know, he's got to say a joke, and then he's got to say a joke, and she's got to say a joke, and she's got to say all the token black shit. He's got to say all the token black shit. And it's like, cool, I get it.
Yeah.
It's like, but not one person could be serious other than join the fight.
Josh, you got Moss or Ollie?
I do have more, but I don't want this to be a.
well, I have
super
one
long-
that kind of piggybacks off yours,
Cool.
which
Are
is
you fucking cheating? Are you reading off his debt?
Yeah, a
the
little
one,
bit.
the one that he already said, already shared, which is you thinking Millie probably should have died in that cave-in.
No,
or
it wasn't
whatever?
that she should die.
Or
It was
hurt.
just like some sort of something happened from a giant slab of cement
Right.
hitting
My
on her.
thing was on purpose. They portrayed a lot of like people being thrown around, people being like falling, even like the way the submarine surfaced.
Yeah.
So many people would be dead. Like
Yeah.
the people inside the submarine, I think would have serious injuries because of the way it surfaced.
Oh.
It went like straight forward up
Oh Jesus!
and
I
then
didn't
it
even
fell
think
onto the
about
water
that.
like that. People had a broken bones for sure.
I would just
Yeah.
say this too.
You can't just like hold on to the table.
I-
We're gonna be
I
good.
watched- I
It's
watched-
a rough landing.
I watched Brightburn before I watched that,
Yeah.
and I was just
Oh.
like, there's so much shaking violence, or I was like, yeah, people would have fucking.
If you're on the
like,
front of
lost
that
their limbs.
submarine, you just fell 100 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ragdoll physics.
Ragdoll physics.
Ragdoll physics.
Humans would have died, or just don't show them being thrown
Yeah.
around like that.
Josh?
I thought that. So you had said that the twist was not as apparent.
Yeah.
It was so.
Apparent.
It was so apparent to me that even my Oh, I'm sorry. This sounds like I'm shitting on you, and I'm not. But
do.
I'm so sorry.
No, I
It's
never
not
see
the-
twists coming either.
So I saw it, but my 15-year-old nephew leaned over and he goes, I bet money
That was a twist.
that she's evil. And I was like, yeah. And
I can see that.
Unfortunately, I'm so sorry, but I felt like it was coming. And
Are
then
you
when she
smarter
went
than
into,
a fifth grader?
then when
No.
she
Apparently
monologued, I was like,
I didn't see it happen either. Don't worry.
man,
I didn't see it happen either.
man, I'm so sorry.
Good job, Josh.
I
No,
wasn't trying to shit
I
on you.
got that too. I felt.
Well,
I saw it
and
too.
that's happened with me multiple times.
Different
though.
strokes,
I
different
just,
folks.
I'm not thinking. I'm only seeing exactly what's in front of me, and I just don't even think about.
I think it
the
bothered
other
me because
things
it was
that would
such a
happen
huge
potentially.
movie point. It was
Yeah.
such a huge plot point
Yeah.
that I was sad that I saw it coming.
I was
Oh.
actually sad about the fact that like once the twist happened, she didn't really do anything after.
Yeah.
She just
I was
cried.
like, you set her up really cool.
just cried a
and then
lot.
like dropped it like it's hot.
Yeah.
The thing that I thought was ridiculous is when she does like the live feed call,
Oh.
and then
Yeah.
she's like there having this really like her big
Still gonna
villain,
bring her son back.
her big villain monologue, and then she's like has to have like a keyboard with all of those little videos set up. 'cause
Oh,
she's
that
like pollution,
really bothered me.
overpopulation.
Let
Yeah.
me give you my
Holy
edited
crap.
evil monologue.
Here's some more of that
She's like
exposition.
hitting
that-
a number for
she had
each
that
keypad
sizzle
for each
reel ready to
talking-
go.
she had like a whole PowerPoint
I prepared this keynote for you. And one more thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shit on you.
No, it's okay.
Okay, my last one. I'm so sorry. The switch between fuck Godzilla to go Godzilla just to me
Happened quickly.
felt really quick.
Except for Ken Watanabe, who said the whole time,
Let's go.
There were a few
go, Godzilla.
characters like in the scientists, like
I don't think any of the scientists hated it.
even the comedy guy
Bradley
at
Whitford.
first was like, no,
Oh,
fuck
because
this
he was
guy.
like, come on, big guy, you can make this.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it was like I feel like it happened within just a few
Seconds.
minutes. And yeah, I know that Godzilla kind of redeemed himself in their eyes, but I still was like,
maybe during the briefing, they'd be like, okay, if you thought Godzilla was a problem, this is a bigger problem. And
Yeah.
then they were like, oh, shit.
so it was just
I
think maybe there were plot points that supported it, but I felt like it happened really quick. That even for a moment I went, oh, you're on his side now?
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, right.
I do want to add one thing. Josh, you might like this. I didn't hate the kid.
No, of course not.
Because she didn't act,
Wow,
She's a child,
well, no, 'cause she didn't act like a
Fine.
fucking child and like a
Yeah.
dumbass child.
she only got 3 minutes of screen time. So.
She fucking like
Didn't have very many
she never
opportunities to-
like really needed help
make Tom
other
hate her.
than like a massive things happening. Like she didn't act stupid.
Yeah.
She acted more logical than all the adults did. So like that's
Talking
to
about
me,
the same adults that went to lunch and left the orca unattended.
she acted more
Fair point.
Like
I'm gonna eat tuna.
she's way more like effective as a human being than all of them are.
Yeah.
And to me, like that's what kid characters should be. I hate when kid characters are more dumb than everyone else in the story.
Like, okay,
You know what I'm saying?
like
Yeah.
the dinosaur or the Jurassic Park logic that we've talked about before, where it's like, let's play with dinosaurs. Oh, bad things happen. Let's play with dinosaurs again. This one, it's like, why would you put your observation deck like right there?
Yeah.
Right there. Like, put it a little away just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case something bad happens.
I'm
This
kind
monster's
of getting
huge.
tired of
I
movies
have a
that are.
small thing.
I'm starting to get a little tired of movies that are just like this person has proven that Godzilla is right, but then again for this new movie, nobody thinks Godzilla is the answer. Like,
Oh, I
like,
see.
of, like the one person being right and nobody believing him for a second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he's the only character that believes in Godzilla, and no one wants to listen to him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the first movie almost didn't even happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm with them.
You
My
were saying?
last little thing was just the rack focus. When it was like, this is a beautifully shot cinematic movie, and all of a sudden we're handheld and it's a rack focus, and like the monsters would go in and out of focus at some points, like if they were using a
Oh,
telephoto.
yeah.
And it was an interesting choice because none of the movie is found footage handheld stuff.
I would also definitely say it's what happens with action movies a lot, where they add a lot of artificial shake
Yeah.
just to make it more intense.
And it really took me out of the film when
Just
that
like
would
that.
happen. Like, and it happens at the submarine scene. So like when he sees him and he like bends down to look at him, they zoom in the same time he looks, and it racks focus and refocuses on him. And I was like, I
Please don't.
don't need that.
just have deep focus.
Just have
Please
a
don't do
nice
that.
shot
Please don't.
of it.
Just have deep focus.
It
and
didn't
have
add
everything focused.
anything, I don't think. because it's not that's a found footage move, and it's not a found footage movie.
Yeah.
Fair.
No one's holding a camcorder.
It's
it's an all CGI shot.
As the Winnie the Pooh meme
didn't
would
have to do
say,
that.
it's a cinema verite.
It took more work to do than not.
Yeah.
And also, I think overall, I think the humans were just a little boring because, like, for the most part, they were just following him in a big ship. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like they weren't like that involved. Like Millie,
They're just
Millie's
chasing
character.
the
I like the
story.
general though.
They're
You
chasing
like
the
general.
The Colonel.
Colonel. Sorry, yeah, she was cool.
Well, the
She was
like,
dope.
I wanted to see more things
He
like
was in
happening with the
ROTC.
environment. Like, I wanted humans to do things.
Yeah.
Like physically.
Well, like in the first one, what's his name does a lot of stuff.
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan
he died.
Cranston.
No, Aaron.
His son.
Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson
Yeah.
is like super.
He does a halo.
proactive.
He does a halo jump.
Yeah.
The Hawaii sequence in the first one. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Anyway. Yeah.
Moving on.
So rating?
Yes.
Rating.
So
So
I have
first
one.
is Caitlin or Josh.
Go alphabetical.
Ladies first.
Alphabetical.
4.
4.
4.
So
It
it's
was-
a
it was-
masterpiece. I'm just kidding. That's Tom's.
That's not my.
Yeah, I know. I know.
No, 4 is
If
she likes
if
it.
something's a masterpiece, then I'm gonna like take it off the scale past 5 because I apparently hate following rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4. Like it was good, and I liked the movie, and I'll watch it again. But it had many a qualm.
Yeah.
Many a qualm. Many things could be fixed that could make it tighter, better. They could have shaved off
Stronger,
time.
harder.
They stronger, harder, faster, more Millie
Harder to
Bobby
kill, yeah.
doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
4.
I see. I just looked down and said, "Why let her friends die?" Are you talking about the mom letting all
Yeah.
the scientists die for whatever reason?
because they
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
she
they don't see
could
her
have
vision.
like at least taken them hostage,
or just stolen it
because
because she has it at
yeah,
home.
like why
taking it somewhere
like
else.
mercenary
Thank you.
kill
Sorry,
her friends
I just saw that.
in
I was
front
like,
of-
that's a really good point.
Yeah,
she
why
had
did
it at
she-
home. Just
she-
take it to that guy.
Because
and
she's
do your
a
thing.
psychopath.
Anyway,
apparently.
Josh.
I would.
It's a good
It's
note.
it's
Thanks.
real hard.
Thank you.
I'd give it a 3.8. It's still, if for me, all of the qualms that we have, don't damage it as
lot.
much for me.
The movie's still intact.
I'm
for you, yeah.
probably still going to watch it a few more times. Maybe not in the theater, but once it comes out, I'm going to rent it. I'm going to watch it again. I really enjoyed it. And maybe that is a little bit of baggage of like, because I saw it and I went, this really took me back. Like there was dumb decisions, dumb plot points, fun monster battles. I was like, yeah, this is a Godzilla movie. All right. I am so in. So it's hard for me because it's like 3.8, 4, but there's still some stuff I would change. So I'm gonna commit to the 3.8.
Okay. Tom, you're
Yeah.
next.
I have one. How many? You have 2?
We have 2.
Jesus.
Ollie and I.
Okay.
Yes.
Mine's a 3.9. Mainly because
Uh-oh.
I love fucking Godzilla movies.
You love fucking Godzilla
I
movies?
love fucking Godzilla movies. You know the old ones, the VHSs where you could wind them with the little
No,
hole? Yeah.
no more words.
That's
Say
what I
your
do.
rating.
I love Godzilla movies. I want to put myself inside of them.
no.
So 3.9?
3.9.
3.9.
And no, I like to me this had enough monster stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had enough monster stuff. If it just had some of the dialogue stuff that I wanted from the characters I wanted it from, obviously, like to me, I would say like this: the directors and the writers are like not trying to make Tom a movie. They're trying to make a movie, and it's whether I engage with it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's up to you.
yeah, and it's like I could change the way I engage with films, but the director and all the filmmakers already gave me what they promised me was a movie.
Yeah.
And this is what they promised me. So to me, like with a Godzilla film and an American adaptation of a Godzilla film, I think they did it as close as they possibly could to make it a wide audience view for someone that's never watched Godzilla, for someone that has watched a lot of Godzilla,
Yeah.
someone that's seen some of the bad Godzilla films, someone that's seen some of the good ones. Like this is the amalgamation of what they can have.
Yeah.
And I'm in it to win it, and I want to see this Monsterverse be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they're gonna do with King Godzilla versus King Kong. Like I don't know what more monsters are gonna do. Are they gonna go to space?
I got the impression that it's the other half of the monsters that we haven't seen because they said something about the monsters going to Skull Island, didn't they?
Well, I mean,
They were some
I feel like it's gonna be
Some
a
of them
big BVS kind of thing going on. But it's
Yeah.
like, are we gonna go to space? Are we gonna see space Godzilla?
I think it's King Kong versus Godzilla, and then like 2/3 to the movie, Mecha Ghidorah shows up, and they're
yeah.
like,
And then
"Are
King
we going
Kong-
to team up with me?" And King Kong's like,
Kong is
"Yeah,
gonna
we're
have-
fan favorites.
high
Let's
five.
do this."
Kong's gonna get Godzilla in a headlock, and he's gonna be almost pinning him, and then
He's gonna give him
and
a
then-
noogie.
No, and then Godzilla's gonna go, Martha.
Why'd you say that name?
Why'd you say that name?
It's his But no, I don't know what's gonna happen.
What's that scream about?
That's what she.
My
That's
fourth
what Lois.
And then Ken Watanabe comes back. You got to give him some
Yes.
dramatic lines like, I'm nowhere now.
Oh.
Thank you, Tom.
and then we all ask him. How,
So good.
and then they ask him how does death feel? And he says itchy.
Itchy.
Oh.
No, fuck off.
Good job, Whedon. Anyways, but no, I can't wait to see what happens with it, and like I want to. I'm here to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And like I mean, there's a point in the Godzilla old school where like he gets too much radioaction and he like melts to the core to the planet, and like it's like if he melted all the way straight, dude, like the planet would explode.
Yeah.
And so like they had to like nuke him one more time to finally fully kill him.
Whoa.
And like the way they kill him, they take his remains and put it in the ocean.
Wow.
And they bring him back by throwing another bomb on him.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Ali?
My rating is a 3.8 as well.
Damn it.
Oh, goodbye. Maybe I picked right today.
I was gonna pick a 3.7, but then I was like, no. At the end of the day, it did entertain me quite a bit.
Yeah.
I had a lot of positive that I took away from it, but to me, it just like it doesn't belong in the 4 space.
Ugh.
But and not even really close enough for the
It's a monster
3.9.
movie.
You had quite a
But it's
reaction to
3.8.
him.
So I was like, okay, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Corey doesn't want to wear this crown that's so heavy on his head.
It
now.
is heavy. I think I've had it for like the last 3 weeks.
Well,
Have
no,
you?
you had it recently.
No,
I think.
I feel like I've
we,
had
him
it.
and I have
At some point, try to
Yeah.
like things.
It's okay to talk about your
kidding.
feelings if you're
Yeah.
upset.
What's the number?
It is a 3.6.
I was right.
You would've been
and
grumpy
that's
either
with
way.
me boosting it up for enjoying it.
Yeah.
There was just too many plot things, character
Electronics in the
writings
rain.
and
logic gaps.
logic gaps. Right. No, well, not just logic gaps, but I mean, I think it was really well acted by everyone. And I want to
Yeah.
go on record saying
Actors
that
were
every
all
single
fantastic.
person in this movie was on point with their acting game. And they were given some tough writing. And that's just kind of what it is. Some really like B movie writing. And I did expect, especially from the trailers, I expected more of a, we're going to take this seriously now kind of
Yeah.
thing. But I loved it. I mean, I loved the monster fights. I fucking love Godzilla. But it just wasn't enough for me to be in love with it.
It was a very complicated plot for such a simple story that they
Yes.
told, which is like,
A new
we
monster
gotta
comes
wake
in.
up the monsters.
Yeah.
The monsters are now awake.
And I think, and it was just a
Oops.
little too long for me. 145, I would have been really happy, I think.
I would say
Yeah.
which did weird me out was that Ghidorah had a much more Western dragon look instead of the more Asian Eastern dragon look.
It looked,
He
I
didn't
didn't
have
love
the
his design.
whiskers and he didn't have like the
Yeah.
puffy face.
It
I
felt
think
like stuck in the
narrow-
You know
middle.
what, Tom?
Yeah.
I think you had something good. Like, I loved them getting into like the ancient lore stuff.
Yeah.
I would have loved more of that,
Yeah.
more of the
Yeah,
kid,
a
or
lot more of that.
no family at all.
But also
Like,
a logic gap is how the fuck did Godzilla defeat Ghidorah to begin with?
yeah.
It took so much fucking help from the humans to beat Ghidorah this time. How the fuck did he beat him last time? Maybe King Kong helped.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Bum, bum, bum.
Anyway, so yeah,
Bum,
3, the Grump. That's it. Grump of the week.
You're the Grump, get out.
I just want to say that I think you named a really bad or good 80s song, Electronics in the Rain.
Electronics in the rain.
That's actually could be a good band, actually.
Oh,
And
we're
also,
gonna-
you're
we're gonna make that
you're
song
not as
someday.
smart as a fifth grader.
Oh,
Way
that's,
Way to go, Josh.
Well, I feel complete.
Well,
Yeah.
wait. I promised I would talk about
CGI.
the like weirdly strong emotional reaction I had.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. What was that about?
That
Another
was
news guy.
actually my favorite moment was Madison yelling at Ghidorah. Because this whole movie they had been talking about like redemption and blah 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 blah. And just so that I don't take forever to talk about this, I've been going through some stuff. And it's hard to like
Shout out to stuff.
and shout out to stuff.
Or
and
don't shout out to
it's
stuff.
hard to look inside yourself and see what's wrong with you and like face it and actually fix it because your problems feel a lot bigger than you. And I talked about this
They're
in
like
Lord of the
Godzilla
Rings.
sized.
Yeah, I talked about this in Lord of the Rings episode where I like personify the parts of me that I struggle with as like these large creatures, which is why I think they're so great to watch because like we're just tiny humans doing our best around things we can't stop. So watching Madison like kind of yell at her literal demon in front of her was kind of a cool thing to experience for me going through
Yeah.
the things that I'm going through now.
stuff.
Yeah. Fuck you, stuff.
Goddamn
I'm
stuff.
gonna be better than you.
I'm gonna make a comic book relation to it. You need to read I Kill Giants.
I killed giants.
Yeah.
I Kill
Is that
Giants.
good?
You need to read that.
Super
comic book
good.
Josh knows what's
Okay.
up.
for exactly what you just said.
Cool.
Well, I saw the
Well-
movie and then I read the comics and I was like,
and it was also like a good I felt good commentary on like, You can watch something going in for just the monster fights and come
you get
out with
something
something way different.
And that's the thing where I love about the mediums of everything that we talk about on the show. It's like you don't know what your art could do for someone else.
Yeah.
right.
And even and that's a kind of like again the Mobius thing about film or media. It's like you don't know what someone else is going to take from it, and sometimes a lot of people don't like to define it because they don't want to change the meaning for someone else.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, that's
But-
that's what's so good about
period.
what I love about. Well, I feel complete.
Continue your point. Continue
Well,
your
all
point.
I was gonna say is that what we do here at Nerd On is that's why I love what we do, because some of these things that we talk about have very special meanings.
Yeah.
And to each their
People who
own.
write
It's
'em.
like I may like something, Corey may not.
Yeah, Josh, I don't appreciate that you hate that 11 survived a slab hitting her.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, anyway.
Thanks for
Emotions.
joining us for
Emotions.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Oh my God.
Zilla.
Yeah.
I thought that was just for the trailer, but I was surprised it was in the movie.
Oh, I was
loved
like,
it.
this
It
bit
was there.
to me when I go to a movie, if your shit is not if your shit's in the trailer and not in the movie,
Looking at you, Russos.
I'm knocking
Looking
it down.
right
a
at
fucking-
you,
Been in the
Russos.
movie.
I'm knocking down a fucking notch.
I thought it was edited like that for the trailer.
Oh no.
I thought he would have
needed-
said the full word and then they
if,
cut it.
okay,
weird.
I said it the exact same way. When the moment happened, I was like, Zilla.
Yeah.
Because no, you don't
knew it.
sell me that movie without that part.
Also,
of it.
Bradley Whitford saying that line is the perfect person for it.
Yeah,
He's
that's
the only
true.
one who could pull it off and not be like, what an asshole. You were just like, he's got it. He understands something.
Bad
Nice.
day to be a Sox
I
fan.
feel complete.
I feel complete.
I'm completing.
I'm so sorry, everybody at home, for listening. But thank you for listening. We really appreciate you listening. If you are new to Nerd On, you can check us out at nerdon.tv. Yeah, you can find out all the information about us, including about this show, about our other show, the Nerd On Update, which comes out every Friday, every week. And essentially we talk about the things in the nerdy news that we're most excited about, like video game news, movie news, TV shows, all sorts of stuff. Anime news.
Technology.
Like stuff that we're like, ooh, this is fun. We want to talk about it.
And we answer your questions.
That was the next thing that I was going to say. We answer your questions. And you can send those questions over to questions@nerdon.tv. And it can be anything from what's your favorite color to what do you think...
About at night.
Do you think who'd win a fight?
Whatever you want.
Who do you
You
think?
see in your dreams.
Who do you think would win a fight? A Jaeger
What do you see
system
in your
or
nightmares?
what, the Jaeger system
Are
or
they the same person?
or a Ghidorah?
yeah.
Jaeger or Ghidorah?
Jaeger or Ghidorah?
Is it Gypsy Danger?
There's no point in saying anything if they're just gonna laugh over it.
They just had a moment.
Anywho.
All good.
Well, thank you,
Which
everybody at home.
Monsterverse stuff would you want to see?
Yeah. So, questions, submit them. Questions@nerdon.tv. But thank you so much for listening. Do us a favor, share us with your friends, your family. If you did not like it, feel free to share it with your enemies.
There it is.
That's okay. Hey, I did it, finally.
official
Proud of you.
Also, send this on the Orca so we can also attract all the other Apex podcasts.
Yeah. What? No.
Fuck it, I would fight
nice.
all of them. Bring it on!
He just wants to meet Kevin Smith.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, submit a
I'll give
review
you
on
one.
iTunes. We would love that.
Mm-hmm.
But on that, you know the drill. As always, Nerd on!
Ending broadcast.